Alright, welcome back to Turtle WoW. We're gonna play on our paladin for a little while. Let's see, we are in Dolonar and we're gonna do fucking work. Alright, cooking, gonna put on the radio, and yes. There are always dead spiders around here.
The Greatest Minds of Azeroth, Gnomish Inventors, read to you by Iggy Moppet. In this month's publication of The Greatest Minds of Azeroth, we'll be taking a look at the shortest geniuses from the Eastern Kingdom. The adaptive and intelligent gnomes of Cosmodon are known for their groundbreaking creation, ranging from small, handheld devices to earthquaking, mountable robo-suits. We will take a closer look at the most renowned inventors of gnomish kind from the last century. Both well-known and obscure virtuosos will be presented today, displaying their engineering accomplishments to the world. Tankmaster Overspark. The discombobulator ray is without a doubt Overspark magnum opus. This nifty little machine allows for simple, albeit very risky, transformations of living beings into harmless squirrels. When unveiling and demonstrating his grand creation, the masses were astonished by the level of ease with which the ray gun could be operated with. What they were not astonished by was the fact that the test subject transformed into a vicious raptor shortly after assuming its new squirrel form. Luckily, the wild beast could be subdued and no gnome was harmed in the process. Oglethorpe Obnauticus. Mr. Obnauticus was considered a genius even among the High Council of Tinkers in Gnomergan, yet, after an unforeseen incident during a robot fighting competition, he was ostracized from the great city. While the actual course of events was never published, there are rumors saying Obnauticus was set up by a fellow inventor, misusing his harmless robot fighting blueprints to build a violent machine and putting the blame on him in the process. Following his exile, he settled in the port city of Booty Bay, from which he developed an autonomous sentry unit with the OOX series of battle chickens. Sicko Thermoplug. A highly controversial topic, but one cannot deny Thermoplug's engineering prowess, as he was directly competing with Gelbin Mechatork for the election of High Tinkerer. With the creation of the fully operational assault gear, he ushered in a new age for gnomish warfare. Sadly, it would not be used for the greater good of gnome kind, but instead for its own detriment. Following the fallout of Gnomergan, the blueprints for the assault gear had been lost in the ruins of the once great city. Other contributions of Thermoplug were his work on the Gnomergan ventilation system, his cooperation with Gelbin Mechaturk, as well as a series of surprisingly well-behaving mechanical dogs, many gnomes lovingly called Scrappy. Gelbin Mechatork. A rising star in the past centuries of gnomish inventions, Mechatork is known for his diligent and intricate engineering work he perfected over the years following the establishment of his very own Tinkerer Emporium. Co-developing many astounding gadgets with his former friend Sicko Thermoplug, Mechatork's popularity skyrocketed with each new invention he brought to life. Many of these found day-to-day applications, like the Harrow Gain 3000, saving many gnomish men from early baldness. It did not take long for the gnomes to elect him as High
Now what the
Tickler,
fuck?
the ruler of the gnomish people, given only to those deemed as the most intelligent and creative among the gnomes. Accepting the election with humility and gratitude, he vowed to uphold gnomish values and create more and more inventions to the betterment of not only the gnomes, but also their newfound allies of the Alliance. This is an oath he values and honors to this day. We have reached the end of this month's iteration of the Greatest Minds of Azeroth. I've been Iggy Moppet. Thank you for listening to Everlook Radio.
But I
Join
can't
us
see
next time
anything
as we
that's
take a look at the Tauren tribes
actually
of
full.
Kalimdor and the cultural difference they developed
That's
over
cool.
the many years of their nomadic lifestyle.
It's advertisement o'clock. Ever wondered how to get your stuff heard by folks who probably want to buy it? Everlook Broadcasting Co. is here for you. Now, let's get to the good stuff.
The products you never knew you needed.
For those times when a pickaxe or a gun just won't do. Boulder fist boxing gloves. When you really want to get your point across in a discussion. Ideal for bar brawls and political debates.
Greetings, commoners of Azeroth. Must you persist with your mundane beverages? Elevate your taste with Sunwell Invigorating Tea. So potent, you'll forget what a mana potion even is.
I'm a little bit ballsy now, but hey. When you're this good, it's hard to not get carried away. Also, the troll music don't help. It's exciting. This is boring. Hell yeah. So my blue low rose
Welcome to Turtle WoW News' Community
is now
Bulletin, Radio
100%
Edition.
white.
I'm your host, Rograg Fishlayer, here to
Yeah,
bring you all the
baby.
community news and updates on events going on in your community, for the player and by the player, for the week of September 26th, 2024. It has been a while since we last checked in on the Turtle WoW speedrunning community, and over the summer there was some movement and new additions to the leaderboard. For the true speed demons of Turtle WoW, the competition between Mortality, Hard Knock Society, and Doom Turtles has raged on. These three teams claim all first, second, and third placements for the 4 primary 40-man raids available. Sadly, Doom Turtles has not moved much in their rankings. All of their best times are posted in early May, as insider sources report that the team has spent the summer restructuring. Hard Knock Society claimed third in AQ 40 in August with a 51.50 and remains first placed in NAX with their impressive 1 hour 25-minute run from June. Meanwhile, Mortality grabbed first place in AQ 40 in June, first in BWL in August, and first in Molten Core just this previous week with a scorching hot 21-minute 23-second run. The only thing keeping them from claiming the quadruple crown is Naxxramas, where runs from Doom Turtles and Hard Knocks claim second and first respectively. Even though the spectacle of ultra-sweaty speedrunners remains novel, not all are on the leaderboard to claim anything other than a clear time they are proud of. For instance, Tac Tac from Golden Moon contacted me to shout out their smooth Naxxramas run on September 13th of 3 hours and 14 minutes. Even though by leaderboard standards, that puts them at currently 22nd place, a well-executed, smooth run through Naxxramas is still an achievement worth celebrating. For many teams who forego invisibility potion skips and the most meta raid compositions, a nice quick run is often worth commemorating. So well done, Golden Moon. Remember, the speedrun archive run by Community Pillar Vita is there for as much competition as they are for self-improvement. So don't be shy. If you have a run you're proud of, let the community know. Besides, we all need to be at our best in the run-up to the Tower of Karazhan. Over in the roleplay world, this last week in the Silver Covenant were searching for the final binding fragment for a water elemental named Aquarius. Their journey took them to the hot volcano region of the Ungoro crater, where rumor has it they made battle against a mighty fire elemental and servant of Ragnaros. Hopefully the expedition made it back in one piece, and the Silver Covenant had enough aloe on hand for all the burns. Coming up this week, the Lion's Pride Legion boosted for a little autumn seasonal event happening in their tavern on September 26th at 7 p.m. server time. So if you're hoping to stave off the cool air blowing in this time of year, make sure to check it out. And naturally, a few days after the event, the same crew looks to be making a supply run to Booty Bay for alcohol. The posting makes it seem like it might be a wild jungle adventure, so come prepared on September 28th at 7 p.m. server time. Whether it's events, pugs, or just general fun, Turtle WoW is more than a game, it's a community. So do your part in continuing that legacy by getting involved. I've been Vrograg Fishlayer, wishing you all a fun week on the server. Loktar Rogar.
Kel'Thuzad and the forming of the Scourge, the
Ooh.
Lich King's major domo. There were a handful of powerful individuals scattered throughout the world who heard the Lich King's mental summons from Northrend. Most notable of them was the Archmage of Dalaran, Kel'Thuzad, who was one of the senior members of the Kirin Tor, Dalaran's ruling council. He had been considered a maverick for years due to his insistence on studying the forbidden arts of necromancy. Driven to learn all he could of the magical world and its shadowy wonders, he was frustrated by what he saw as his peers' outmoded and unimaginative precepts. Upon hearing the powerful summons from Northrend, the Archmage bent all of his considerable will to communing with the mysterious voice. Convinced that the Kirin Tor was too squeamish to seize the power and knowledge inherent in the dark arts, he resigned himself to learn what he could from the immensely powerful Lich King. Leaving behind his fortune a prestigious political standing, Kel'Thuzad abandoned the ways of the Kirin Tor and left Dalaran forever. Prodded by the Lich King's persistent voice in his mind, he sold his vast holdings and stored away his fortunes. Traveling alone over many leagues of both land and sea, he finally reached the frozen shores of Northrend. Intent on reaching Icecrown and offering his services to the Lich King, the Archmage passed through the ravaged, war-torn ruins of Azjol Narub. Kel'Thuzad saw firsthand the scope and ferocity of Ner'zhul's power. He began to realize that allying himself with the mysterious Lich King might be both wise and potentially fruitful. After long months of trekking through the harsh Arctic wastelands, Kel'Thuzad finally reached the dark glacier of Icecrown. He boldly approached Ner'zhul's dark citadel and was shocked when the undead guardsmen silently let him pass as though he was expected. Kel'Thuzad descended deep into the cold earth and found his way down to the bottom of the glacier. There, in the endless cavern of ice and shadows, he prostrated himself before the frozen throne and offered his soul to the Dark Lord of the Dead. The Lich King was pleased with his latest conscript. He promised Kel'Thuzad immortality and great power in exchange for his loyalty and obedience. Eager for dark knowledge and power, Kel'Thuzad accepted his first great mission, to go into the world of men and found a new religion that would worship the Lich King as a god. To help the Archmage accomplish his mission, Ner'zhul left Kel'Thuzad's humanity intact. The aged yet still charismatic wizard was charged with using his powers of illusion and persuasion to lull the downtrodden, disenfranchised masses of Lordaeron into a state of trust and belief. Then, once he had their attention, he would offer them a new vision of what society could be and a new figurehead to call their king. Kel'Thuzad returned to Lordaeron in disguise, and over the span of 3 years, he used his fortune and intellect to gather a clandestine brotherhood of like-minded men and women. The brotherhood, which he called the Cult of the Damned, promised its acolytes social equality and eternal life on Azeroth in exchange for their service and obedience to Ner'zhul. As the months passed, Kel'Thuzad found many eager volunteers for his new cult amongst the tired, overburdened laborers of Lordaeron. It was surprisingly easy for Kel'Thuzad to achieve his goal, namely, to transfer the citizens' faith in the Holy Light into belief in Ner'zhul's dark shadow. As the cult of the damned grew in size and influence, Kel'Thuzad made sure to hide its workings from the authorities of Lordaeron. With Kel'Thuzad's success in Lordaeron, the Lich King made the final preparations for his assault against human civilization, placing his plague energies into a number of portable artifacts called plague cauldrons. Ner'zhul ordered Kel'Thuzad to transport the cauldrons to Lordaeron, where they would be hidden within various cult-controlled villages. The cauldrons, protected by the loyal cultists, would then act as plague generators, sending the plague seeping out across the unsuspecting farmlands and cities of northern Lordaeron. The Lich King's plan worked perfectly. Many of Lordaeron's northern villages were contaminated almost immediately. Just as in Northrend, the citizens who contracted the plague died and arose as the Lich King's willing slaves. The cultists under Kel'Thuzad were eager to die and be raised again in their Dark Lord's service. They exulted in the prospect of immortality through undeath. As the plague spread, more and more feral zombies arose in the Northlands. Kel'Thuzad looked upon the Lich King's growing army and named it the Scourge, for soon it would march upon the gates of Lordaeron and scour humanity from the face of the world.
Ahoy, savage spenders! Zappo here, your goblin guide through the labyrinth of fantastic deals. We got a treasure trove of products to explore. Ready, set, let's embark on this shopping adventure!
Salutations, seekers of knowledge. The Arcane Wonders Academy invites you to unlock the secrets of the arcane arts. Our distinguished instructors will guide you in harnessing the power of magic, just as we have done for generations. Join us and embrace your destiny as a student of the arcane.
Greetings, future coffin connoisseurs. Coffin and Casket Crafts is your go-to destination for the afterlife's finest wooden resting places. Our caskets come in various designs, including the Rest in Pieces model. Each one is lovingly crafted, and we even offer customized screaming inscriptions. Because when you go, your final resting place should say it all.
Greetings, guardians of the forest. Does the weight of your eternal watchfulness wear in your spirit? Seek solace in our starlight soothing salve. Infused with the shimmer of Elune's blessings, this salve rejuvenates both body and soul. After one application, you'll feel as radiant as the night sky itself. Note, side effects may include an overwhelming urge to sing ancient hymns under the moon.
La 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 la. I just remember that I have shut. I've been quiet for so fucking long. I was enthralled by the stories about Kel'Thuzad and the rich story that is the world. Well, druids are pretty fucking good. Here's the plan. Now I just need to find this fucking moon well. I can get my first Korean. That is tempting. Oh fuck, what is it? Yeah, black. I have been in even though Storming Waltz. I think the last book was pretty fucking weird. The Carasson script, yes, that's good. Hard to get a group though. What else talking about? Burn Crusade Classic. Ross was bugged. And goodbye. Can't think of the change to who.
Welcome to the weekly Turtle Wow News with Rograg Radio Edition. I'm your news anchor org, Rograg Fishlayer, here to bring you all the top server news for the week of September 23rd, 2024. Let's get to it. I'm the orc, and here's the news. Top news came through a recent post made by Dragonovi from the Turtle team in the teaser channel. An image of the general spellbook for a Forsaken Warrior was shown. Those with a keen eye would notice that the traditional passive shadow resist of Azeroth's undead faction is missing, and in place is a passive ability known only as Vengeance. In the text of the post, Dragonovi says, with the second round of class changes, we are also taking a look at other racial abilities, old and new. This certainly does stir more questions and speculations about what races will look like in 1.17.2. In an attempt to get more clarity about how many races would be receiving changes, I was able to get a quote from team member Morenia, who further elaborated, all 10 of them are getting a change or another. Little else is officially known about any of these changes for the time being, so while the server waits with bated breath for class changes, now there could be even more excitement, or anxiety, about how all the races might change as well. In other late-breaking news, hours ago, the periodic Fair Play report dropped as of the writing of this script. As always, confirming these reports is next to impossible for a little independent news orc like myself, but taken at face value, the report is impressive. In the last 256 days, 626 RMT participants were banned and had their gold destroyed. Over 2,300 hackers, botters, or other cheaters were banned, and 51 sold accounts were removed. This amounts to over 90,000 gold removed from the economy, 12,000 hours of play time banished, and of course, a predictable 2,300 or more appeals were made. While these are impressive numbers and my journalistic instinct is to fact-check this report, one thing myself and the team always agree upon is that supporting RMT or exploiting is harmful to our community. If you see something suspicious, report it. because together we can make a fair gameplay experience for everyone. Thank you to the GM team for their investigations and developers for making tools to root out the rotten good-for-nothings in our community. Next in top news, the second week of the Scourge invasion is happening over on Televim. This marks the penultimate week before the Dread Citadel Naxxramas is slated to make its grand appearance on the server. Though excitement for Naxxramas remains high on the server, the Scourge invasion has had a few hiccups, including a small period of time where the event vanished early last week, and some continuing issues where minions of the Scourge refuse to spawn at the various attack points around Azeroth. According to team sources, they are aware of the issue and trying to remedy the situation. Hopefully the remainder of the event goes smoothly and the folk of Bananaland can push back the Scourge to Northrend. And to round out top news, I'd like to highlight some interesting tidbits of information that came as part of the recent Under the Shell broadcast. The audio for the latest episode featured Voji, a senior developer for Turtle WoW, speaking about the content coming to the community. As a result of the show's broadcast, some new things came to light that the public may want to know in case they missed it. First, the dungeon extensions coming with the patch will feature lower-level relic items, a welcome comfort for the hybrid classes who otherwise would have an empty item slot until the mid-50s of levels. While other bosses and themes have been teased, the public learned of a certain Death Knight boss being added to Scarlet Monastery, which sounds like an interesting encounter. Also finding its way to the public through the podcast are the names of two new leveling dungeons planned for the 1.8 patch, Hammers and Talons. The two new dungeons were revealed to be Stormrot Castle and Dragonmaw Retreat. While presumably Dragonmaw Retreat will be part of the Grim Batol-oriented lore, Stormrot Castle stands alone as a curiosity. Referencing previous notes, new planned zones include Northwatch Ridge and Baelor, so this dungeon might be there, or it could be integrated with another yet unknown zone. Perhaps the most interesting comment from Voji during the podcast was an offhanded remark while speaking on new content. He is quoted as saying, "In the patch, Hammers and Talons 1.18, so a few months from now." Now, after hearing this, I did confirm with Acalix if bringing to air this comment was acceptable with public relations, and I got the green light. So while 1.17.2 is coming soon, it would also seem that 1.18 might be hot on its heels. Of course, exact release dates are impossible to get out of the team, but this does signal that 1.18 is likely to not involve another long waiting period for the community. If you want to hear the podcast for yourself, the recording is available on Everlook Broadcasting's YouTube channel. It is a nice, refreshing listen where the struggles and triumphs of being a Turtle WoW developer are on full display. Thank you to Dan from the radio for facilitating such great content for the station. That is all we have for top news this week. Until next time, I've been Vrograg Fishlayer. Thank you for listening to Everlook Radio. And remember, the deadliest weapon is knowledge.
It's advertisement o'clock. Ever wondered how to get your stuff heard by folks who probably want to buy it? Everlook Broadcasting Co. is here for you. Now, let's get to the good stuff.
The products you never knew you needed.
Dream of striking rich on Lapidus Isle.
Okay, that's really interesting. Apparently, coming. Holy shit. You go cray. You go fucking cray. I love it. Alright. This fucking shit with this shit. Bum 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 boom 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 bum 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 bum. Okay, please don't start doing your RP shit instantly. Second, did that drop something cool? This looks good.
Hello,
Oh, we love
good
this, of
people of
course.
Azeroth. It's that time when we uncover the hidden gems, the quirky inventions, and the must-have marvels of our world. Get ready for a whirlwind tour through the world of advertising.
Cuddle up with a heart-petrifying novel from Decaying Love Chronicles. Our tales are a haunting blend of love and despair, guaranteed to make you question why you bothered to feel anything at all. Enter this realm of dread, but beware. Our stories might just steal your last shreds of hope.
Hello, folks. Are you tired of those boring, non-gnomish gadgets cluttering up your life? Well, look no further than Gnomish Gearworks Gadgets, where we turn everyday problems into extraordinary catastrophes. I mean solutions. Remember, if it doesn't explode at least once, is it even a real invention?
Greetings, future coffin connoisseurs. Coffin and Casket Crafts is your go-to destination for the afterlife's finest wooden resting places. Our
Alright,
caskets come in various
almost
designs,
11.
including the Rest in Pieces model. Each one.
Almost. I think it's time for me to actually log off. Honored with tall people.